Praise the Lord, everyone. I have another video. This video is going to be a voice from the street style video. We were on our way home from church and we come across a couple of ladies who were sitting on the curb, and it was apparent that they were living outside just by the things that they had around them. And so we pulled over, we talked to them, we prayed with them, we gave them each a Bible. We asked them if they had any needs. They said they were thirsty and hungry. We went over and bought those items that they had requested. And then when we came back, well, the lady that's on the video, her name is Kat, and she started to share quite a bit about her personal life and things of that nature. And I asked her if she'd like to share that on my YouTube channel for some money. Now, I don't offer everybody this deal, but if they are talkative and they're sharing things that I think would be interesting for people, then I ask them if they'd like to be on the video. And she agreed, and she did receive some money for doing that. And this is her testimony. Praise the Lord. Until next time.
Testimony?
Yeah.
What would you like to
Well,
highlight on that?
your walk with Jesus Christ, what you believe about God, how your life has been out on the street, and things of that nature.
Okay. I've had 6 parents total. 3 of them are dead right now. Anyone who ever knew me is gone. Never been lonely before. It's the first time. 6 parents taught me I needed to get food and shelter at the age of 3. I've been homeless since the day I was born. My mama never stayed in one spot the first 4 years of her custody.
Wait.
Hi, sweetie.
Can you get off my chair, please? I'm
Sure.
leaving. I'm leaving.
Oh, okay. Where can I meet you?
You're not. I'm going up with it.
Go under the bridge? Want me to meet
Will you please get off my chair?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure, it's a nice blanket.
Sure is, isn't it?
I love it woolly on one side.
You want to continue?
Sure.
All right.
I was born with bilateral club leg and feet, both legs. My feet were not pointing in the right direction to touch the ground. So if I didn't have this surgery, treatment started at 8 days, then I would be in a wheelchair for life because the surgery was very new. The surgeon was worldwide renowned, so he went all over the globe helping people with their twisted bodies, and he did very, very well. A lot of the scarring, I have over 22 incisions. They're cutting into scars so they don't have to make new ones. His wife did the skin grafting and whatnot to help some of the scarring. Some of my incisions have been cut into 3 times. I'd already had 10 years into the medical field when I had a bone marrow stimulation operation on my right leg, above and below the knee. So I've been making medical decisions for myself since 10. The doctors and surgeons and nurses, they didn't patronize me at all. I mean, 10 years is quite a bit in the medical field. I know a bit, so they started helping me, offering me what options I had at 10. Scarring and what to do next, and the braces. And if you've seen Forrest Gump, I had those exact braces, except mine went from my shoes to my belt, and they're very heavy, and they don't bend very good. I had those at the age of 3. At 3, I was outside by myself. My mama was an alcoholic and charming, beautiful, never lived in one spot, but alcohol and men were her more priorities than me. That's why she just gave up at 4 and gave me to this man that I didn't know. She said he was my dad, and he says he's my dad, but I didn't know him until she gave custody, and she went about her own life. After that, I didn't see her a whole lot. Of course, out of that many parents, predators are, they could tell when parents don't care for their children. So I had a little too much on a man beating me, the surgeons tearing up my body, and predators, and not living in one spot. So I've never been safe. I've always been homeless. I've always had to look for food and shelter. At 3 years old, I was climbing cupboards looking for food when my mom was in bed. Sometimes she would bring me to my grandparents' house, my daddy's dad, and say, watch her for a night, and then she'd just leave me for 3 or 4 months, not come back. And so I had diaper burns, not being fed and changed my diaper. And my mama said that I ate tobacco and toothpaste. Now I don't remember that, but she did have my bedroom in the loft in the upper apartment. So I rode my tricycle down the stairs. I tried to, and I fell all the way to the bottom, and I got a scar. She didn't take me to the hospital. She was afraid. She turned pale white, and I think she was afraid of protective services or something. I don't know. But the blood freaked her out. She turned pale. I was okay, I'd already been in the medical field, so I didn't, blood and all that didn't faze me. I just got another, wound. But one time she said that I was running down the sidewalk and I was screaming, again still at 3, because there was a bad storm and I was scared and I was crying and screaming. I don't remember that either. But I have a lot of memories at the age of 3. I had to. The doctors would wake me 3 times a day and give me shots and take my blood and check my stitches. But my mother's mother and my dad's dad were the biggest people in my life that made sure that I got to doctors and surgeons and my appointments, my equipment. I have a size 6 and a 5.5 feet. One's a C width, one's a D width. This right leg is 3/4 short of my left, so my spine's messed up now. My dad didn't continue my medical care under the age of 18, so now my spine's involved. He was released from the Vietnam War based on my medical needs, so originally I was covered by military insurance. But he didn't apply for Social Security, so he left me with no money, no means to survive. And so the first 4 years of my life was cast on and cast off. So there was x-rays before and after the cast, from my toes to my thighs. And I got cancer from so many x-rays. Of course, I didn't stop. It's a lifelong handicap. So I'm always under x-rays, radiation. Now it's MRIs and CAT scans and bone scans. So I've gotten cancer of my thyroid, 17 lymph nodes. I've had 8 pregnancies, fibroid tumor in my uterus, no more uterus, cyst on my right ovary, 8 pregnancies, 2 kids, tumor in my pituitary gland, gallbladder's got to come out. Basically, I think the x-rays just fried me. It's just never gonna, not all of it's cancer, but thyroid, cervix, and colon so far cancer. I'm in way past remission. It's not gonna, I'm all right that way. No cancer. But they keep checking on the tumor in my pituitary gland. I get a scan once a year. It's all good so far. It doesn't grow. I had been through too much already by the age of 8, and I wanted to commit suicide. And I didn't tell anyone. And I didn't even know. But I stayed in the kitchen, and I was gonna do something, and God spoke to me. And instead, I just packed a bag of clothes and I went in the woods, and I don't know how long I was gone. I was 8, you don't know time, but God saved me. I had been raped and molested, and that was kind of like the tilt of the 8 years old. My stepsister told that this guy did this to her too, and he was gonna beat him up. My dad was 6'1", and I was very, very afraid that he was gonna kill somebody. She was scared too, and she was in the bedroom, and I was in the kitchen, and he was in the kitchen, and he was freaking out. And she was so scared that she said, I lied, he didn't do it. And he went in and beat her, so I didn't say anything. I wouldn't tell, so that was my next. I was gonna do that at 8, and I packed my bags, and I went into the forest, in the woods, and like I said, I don't know how long I was gone, but God spared me and took the memory out so I could cope, so I would stay alive. He took the memory out so I'd be okay. And it didn't come back until I was older and pregnant, the memory. I saw the guy in Myers that I had already been taken advantage of at 3. One of the places my mother took me that we lived, but so he spared me of that until I was ready to deal with it. So I'm grateful for that. But my parents, at least the ones I lived with, weren't big on Christianity or God, but enough that put me in, if you ever heard of catechism or Awana, we had to, we were asked to memorize Bible verses, and you couldn't play with the games and other stuff, activities, unless you said a Bible verse. And I have dyslexia, so I tried really hard, but I did it. And the lady obviously got it that I was struggling. I almost always had bruises on my body and torn clothes, and I was hungry. But so she got it, and she helped me find Christ. We went over some Bible verses, and we prayed, and my soul was saved that day. I didn't know the word stability, living the life that I did, and Christ showed me that. And that's why I know that I'll never go back, and I'll never be anything else. I'm sure about where I'm gonna go. I'm sure about that, and I'm very grateful, no matter what's happened before or after, since. I'm very grateful.
That's outstanding. That's a wonderful testimony. I greatly appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Very much, very much. I appreciate you taking it down. My aunt said that I should write a book because I've been through so much, and that's, mostly just my childhood.
Indeed.
But she lived her life in college, and she was working on her doctorate when she passed. She was my favorite. She never pulled on me in court or fought over me, and she just always treated me like a human and a loved one. Raised on a farm, horses. My grandma's, her mother, was the best sanctuary I ever had. Weeping willows, lots of acres, horses. I could do whatever I want. There was no limitations on food or what I wanted to do or where I went. That also saved me. It kept my sanity intact.
Praise God.
Just my grandma's property, yeah.
Okay.
Pond and lots of blessings. As much food as I could eat. She didn't mind. Oatmeal and pancakes were my favorite.
Well, praise the Lord.